Video I'm going to be doing free mini psychic readings. I'm going to really be practicing working without tarot actually today. Hold on just a moment, I need to scratch my nose. So bear with me. So this is just practice. Yesterday I did a live stream where I did mini tarot readings, and I think based on that experience I'm just going to say, like, I'm glad to do a free reading for everyone. If you want more than one, because some people are getting 2 or 3, you're going to need to make some sort of donation if you want more than one reading. But this is something that will help me as well, because I want to, I think of myself as an intuitive tarot reader anyway, so I'm not just reading the specific meanings of the cards, which to me would be pretty limited anyway, because there are only 78 cards. And that's a pretty limited vocabulary to begin with. And my spirit guides have ways of using the cards to sort of invoke or provoke or bring my mind to certain things, which helps me to become aware of what the meaning or answer is that's coming through. But I do have other psychic talents other than simply divination with the cards. You know, the clairaudience, clairsentience, etc. It's just going to take me probably a little bit longer than when I'm using tarot. But if people do have questions, I see a few people watching now, you can go ahead and ask your question, and I'm going to be tapping into my natural psychic ability, like I said, not using the tarot, just so I can sort of stretch my own limitations a bit. And I don't see anyone yet in the chat, but if anyone has a question, go ahead and ask. I think in the meantime I'll just banter a little bit. I'm not going to get into complaint mode yesterday. I had a little bit of a rant about an experience that I'd had, and I just don't choose to dwell on it, I guess. But I will say that tomorrow there's going to be a full moon in Sagittarius. It is happening almost at the 3rd degree of Sagittarius. So just for reference, if anyone out there is into astrology and you know where the 3rd degree of Sagittarius is, that full moon is also in opposition to a lot of very positive energy, because it's going to be opposing the Sun and Venus and Jupiter. Venus and Jupiter are conjunct at the full moon tomorrow at the 29th degree of Taurus. So kind of wrapping up that sign of Taurus. Venus and Jupiter are the greater and lesser benefic. So they're the benefic planets, which means they generally bring positive events for us. And of course, they're going to be helping to throw their energies over across to that full moon. Usually by now I feel like I would have questions. Maybe I should have come in here with something to vent about to kind of get the energy flowing. But I don't know what else to say. I'm just waiting for someone to get a reading. If anyone is posting in the live chat, it is not showing up to me. Okay. Hello, Roxy Wright. Nice to see you. Taurus stellium here. Excellent. So you're getting a lot of energy right now on your Taurus sun, or your Taurus stellium. So maybe it is or is not the sun, but you have several placements in Taurus. Yeah, a lot going on in Taurus, but Jupiter and Venus are wrapping up their transits in the sign of Taurus. I hope that they were able to bring you blessings in some capacity. I think with both, you know, I'm a very Saturnian person. I have a strong Saturn influence in my own chart. Which, do any of us ever feel totally at peace with Saturn? I'm not sure. But at the same time, Saturn, I feel like in some ways Saturn is easier for me to deal with than like the Jupiter-Venus transits. Because sometimes for me, it's like when good things are coming in, it strikes my fear of, okay, when is the other shoe going to drop? Hello, Halo. Or A. It's nice to see you. So anyone who has a question, feel free to ask. And I'm going to tap into my psychic ability, not relying on tarot. It's just something that I'm going to practice today, if you're willing to let me practice with you. Yeah, I think that when Jupiter and Venus bring us blessings, we have to be wise about how we utilize those blessings. You know, Jupiter can definitely lead to overindulgence. Jupiter and Venus, actually. It's like we want to enjoy the good stuff, but obviously enjoying the good stuff too much leads to negative consequences. And then when Saturn comes in with the responsibilities and the obligations and the obstacles and the challenges, of course, nobody likes dealing with challenges, but there are rewards. You know, when you meet those challenges, you have personal growth. Saturn will give you mountains to climb, and it's not easy to climb a mountain. I've never done it, literally. I've never literally climbed a mountain, but I feel like I've climbed several proverbial mountains, and I don't like the climb, but I saw a sign hanging in someone's car recently. It was saying something like, the best views are the ones you experience after a long climb. In other words, like, there are definitely benefits to taking upon those challenges and persevering, you know, because you can't sprint up a mountain. It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes planning. Those are all Saturnian things as well. So I think climbing a mountain is a great metaphor. Hello, Crystal. Hello, the healer psychologist. Okay, so the healer psychologist is saying, will I get married this year? Will he come back? So again, just to remind everyone, I'm not using tarot today. So I'm stretching myself a little bit. I definitely don't feel a marriage happening for you this year. I don't pick up anything about a marriage. I do feel like the person that you're asking about will come back into your life. I feel like there is more to the story here. Let me tune in for the healer psychologist and try to understand what's going on with this person. I feel like the person that you're asking about is, you know, they're trying to make things happen for themselves in their life, and this desire to do that, for some reason they feel like they can't gain these positive changes for themselves and cling back to you at the same time. So I think part of whatever they're doing to distance themselves from you right now is because it's like they don't see how they can have both. It's almost like they need to sacrifice this attachment that they have to you. I feel like this person does still have an attachment to you. They care about you, but they feel like they need to be self-reliant at the moment. But there is a sweet energy from this person towards you, and I think that there is more to the story. I really don't necessarily see the two of you settling down, but I think that you will sort of, you know, like an ocean wave comes and goes. That's what it feels like to me. And I think that will be something that continues to happen for the two of you. You'll sort of flow into each other's lives momentarily, and then you'll recede from each other momentarily, the healer psychologist. But no, I don't see you marrying this person, and I don't see you getting married this year at all. What I do feel for you, the guidance for you, is that there are many doors and possibilities open right now. And so your spirit guides want you to face those doors which are wide open. There are many doors that are wide open to you right now, and I think you're aware of what those are. Sometimes we are so hesitant to walk through a doorway that is actually available to us. It's like that, again, it's sort of like being afraid of the blessing. You know, having many doors open to you is a blessing, and yet you're wanting to fixate on this door, which sometimes is open, sometimes is closed. It's never going to lead to marriage, which is what you are wanting it to do. But do you really want that situation to lead to marriage? Or is it a way of distracting you from actually embracing the opportunities that really are available to you? And when I say opportunities, I'm not talking about romance. I'm talking about bringing your life to a place of flourishing. And an understanding that bringing your life to a place of flourishing does not necessitate this person. It doesn't. All right. Let me scroll back and see what else people are asking. I've got a lot of people in the chat now. I just want to remind people, if you get more than one reading, you will need to give a donation. Otherwise, I'm not giving anyone more than one reading. Hello to C. Chachawarn in Thailand. So subsequent readings beyond the first free reading require a donation. Okay, I think Roxy Wright is the next. I believe I'm in a Saturn return from age 57 to 59, and boy, has it been a ride since the eclipses at age 57, and I just turned 58. Yeah. Saturn return. So right now Saturn is in Pisces, so I'm guessing your Saturn is in Pisces. I use the Western zodiac, so you may or may not use that zodiac, which is fine. Saturn in Pisces is a very interesting energy. Saturn is transiting through my first house right now, and when it went across my ascendant, I stopped dyeing my hair, which is why I have all of this gray. So it aged me, which Saturn will do. Also, Saturn is helping me to lose weight in my first house because Jupiter went through my first house first, and I gained 30 pounds. And then Saturn is coming through, and I lost those 30 pounds. And then recently I've lost an additional 20 pounds. But so Saturn can definitely bring benefits, you know. Saturn restricts, it lessens, it takes away, it creates a deficit. And if you're wanting to lose weight, that is a positive experience to have, actually. Yes, everyone can ask a question, Crystal. Okay, Crystal is asking, will me and Jay reconnect this year? How does he feel about me? I do feel immediately a reconnection. I feel a really positive energy between the two of you. To me, it feels, Crystal, like the energy between you and Jay will be primarily a friendship, though. It feels like a friendship energy where there is a mutual attraction. But I feel like the greatest blessing of your relationship to Jay is actually friendship. Like, that's the major basis of it. And, you know, I know it's difficult for people to have friendships with the opposite sex or the sex that you're attracted to or whatever. You know, it's like it's difficult to have friendships. I don't know. It gets complicated, right? Because what if you and Jay are friends and then one of you goes and you have a romantic relationship with someone else? It gets complicated. But I actually feel like the two of you have the capacity to do that, you know, to have a really solid and stable friendship and that can persevere even with you all, you know, living your own lives in other ways. So how does he feel about you? I feel like he loves you so much. And again, there is definitely a mutual love there, like a mutual romantic love. So what is, you know, it's not like that there's a blockage necessarily of the two of you being in a romantic relationship. It's just that isn't really the greatest blessing of this connection. If the two of you had a romantic relationship or came back into a romantic relationship, I don't know. To me, it feels almost like brother and sister trying to have a romantic relationship. It's like, I don't feel like there's enough. Yes, there is a mutual attraction, so I know I'm having trouble explaining this, but the attraction is not even, you know, two souls can be attracted to each other because they have a similar vibration, they have a similar attitude toward life, or they just understand each other. I feel like that's the greatest thing, Crystal, is that you and Jay, you just get each other. You know, you get each other, you understand each other, you feel kind of safe and secure with each other for the most part. So sometimes, you know, I referenced this lyric yesterday as well, but it's a great one. There's a Tom Petty lyric from the song Walls. I think that's the title of his song. But he says, some days are diamonds, some days are rocks, which is ironic because diamonds are always rocks, right? Or diamonds are also rocks. But it's like we can be looking at the same thing and just seeing it. Our perspective of what we're looking at is based on what? Why do we value diamonds so much, and then other rocks we would refer to as rocks? Obviously, every rock has its own value, whatever it happens to be. And I think what your spirit guides want you to understand, Crystal, is the value of this relationship that you have with Jay. There are many types of relationships. There isn't just one particular type of relationship that fulfills us. That's why in ancient Greece they had so many different words for love. There are different types of love. Essentially, they're all love. But we really, for whatever reason, we romanticize romantic love, and we think this is the only thing that will fill our cup. But really, friendship is something that we all need so much, and so many people really struggle with friendship, despite how necessary it is. I think it's because, in large part, we're just focusing on the wrong things sometimes. Okay. All right, C. Chechawarn, will I get a job soon? Which career path is open for me? Now, this is definitely a test here. Which career path? Please respond to if it makes sense what I'm saying, because I'm really trying to tap into my intuition here. Will you get a job soon? C. I think that you will get a job within the next 4 weeks. And the career path, I feel like it's something in science or medicine, or something related to science or medicine. But it definitely feels like something that requires use of your mind a lot. Some sort of career path where you need to be smart, where you need to be knowledgeable of like scientific details, or doing research, or being able to look at data and understanding and interpreting data. Let me know if that makes sense. Hi, Cassandra. Okay, A is asking, do I have a twin flame? If yes, did I meet him? Thank you. Well, the whole topic of twin flames, I mean, I guess I believe that twin flames are a thing. I think that, I'm not going to apologize for giving my perspective first, because my perspective colors my interpretation, like I am a channel, but just like a prism is a channel for light, the light is going to refract through the prism based on the facets that that particular prism has, right? So my personal beliefs and viewpoints about twin flames are definitely going to affect what I have the capacity to channel. In my experience, twin flames are people who, these are two souls which really provoke each other. There's an intense mutual attraction, but there is also it brings a lot of challenges. I like to think of it as two flint stones bashing against each other. It creates a spark, hence the word flame, twin flame. You ignite something in each other. So the purpose of a twin flame is to ignite something within you that sort of sets your soul more alive in some way. It could open you to certain spiritual gifts. It could open you to seeing more fully your own potential. But usually the twin flame experience also creates an experience of the dark night of the soul. Because in order to have that desire to spark that flame, you have to experience darkness. I don't think that you may have met your twin flame, but I don't think that the full impact of the twin flame experience has really hit you, like I think you may have met your twin flame sort of in passing or something, but so here's the thing. One of my twin flames, when I met them, I didn't really experience the full jolt of what it all meant until many years later. And I guess that's what I'm seeing for you. I think that you have met this person, but I don't think that the two of you have really jolted each other quite yet. I do feel like that will happen. I think that there will be something notable that happens for you. It's either in 8 years or in 2028. I feel like it's 8 years from now, though. I think in 8 years from now, there will be some sort of jolt as regards to this person who is your twin flame that will really set your souls alive in some capacity, but it's not an easy process. Also, you know, it's like walking across hot coals. The twin flame experience burns. It burns, but it also, you know, it brings your spirit alive. Guys, I'm going to say this again. If you ask more than one question, I'm not going to answer it unless you give a donation. It's a free question to or free answer to everyone, free reading, but that's just one free reading. Hello, Fairyland. Okay, this is a very open-ended question from Fairyland. What about my love life in the coming days? I mean, I really don't see anything happening too much. I feel like there is someone who, there's like a sort of crushy vibe, maybe a little bit between you and someone. And I feel like maybe a nice kind of short conversation or two with this person will happen. I think it'll be in person. So someone who you have a little bit of a kind of mild crush on, and also they have a mild crush on you, you'll come into contact with in person a couple of times, maybe over the next week or two, and just have a nice, you know, cordial conversation. I don't really see anything huge or life-changing happening. Hello, boss lady. I am doing well. Thank you. I hope you're doing well as also. I have posted on my channel recently about some things I've been going through over the last few months, but I'm doing pretty well, and I really feel like, you know, God redirects you. God has redirected my life because I needed it. I needed to be challenged so that I didn't become complacent. And I was really, you know, I was really not taking care of my physical body. I was not taking care of my physical health. And God put me on a path to start to learn more about how to, you know, treat my body as a temple, to take care of my temple, because God wants to put me into service somehow in the world that will require me to be doing that, you know, to have a physical vessel that is functioning more or less effectively. So I'm grateful to God for that. Roxy is saying, I ended a relationship with a Croatian man that I thought was my soulmate. Behind the illusionary mask was a house of horrors. Finally, I think it was my initiation to heal the narcissist wound. Yeah, I think that is the worst sort of betrayal, when you think you know someone and then you find out that there is a house of horrors. I've experienced that even in my family. Like someone I had known my entire life. And I was in denial for a long time. We don't want to think that people are capable of evil, but they are. And what is the lesson of that, right? You know, the lesson of it still is love, Roxy. In my opinion, the lesson is still love, but love has boundaries. I appreciated Marianne Williamson when she said, sometimes love says no. Yes, love says no, and sometimes love says, you're not going to pull me into your chaos as well. Sometimes love says, you know what, I'm going to choose to be focused on my own path. Okay, Boss Lady says, there is a guy I really am feeling. There is an age gap and distance between us. Is he interested enough to us actually being in something committed? I do feel like he does want that with you, actually. I feel like he wants that with you. I feel like the age difference to him is actually part of what he likes. I'm sensing that you're older. Please let me know, because I'm trying to test my psychic ability right now. So, Boss Lady, I'm feeling like the guy that you're asking about is younger than you. If that's correct, please let me know. Or if it's wrong, also let me know, because the best way to enhance your psychic abilities to grow is to like find confirmation if it is available, so I can understand, am I accurate? You know, you have to trust the intuition that you're getting, but then seeking confirmation to know, was I right? You know, it's a process. It's like flexing that psychic muscle. So anyway, I feel that he's younger. But yeah, I think that he does want something committed with you. So yeah, he's interested enough. I also feel like he is willing to take risks and to take the initiative in order to develop it further. I do feel like there's more that will happen between you and this guy, Boss Lady. I'm not sure, like, I definitely feel like this is a significant connection. I'm not getting a lot of specifics beyond that, but I feel like he will be attempting to make that happen. I'll say that. That I feel pretty strongly about. He will be attempting to connect more with you. He will be attempting to initiate contact more with you, because he does desire that. Yes. All right. Thank you, Roxy, for your donation. And I think you wanted another question. Let me go back here. So Roxy was asking, have I raised my vibration enough to come in alignment with my true divine masculine? Yes, your vibration is definitely raised enough to come into alignment with your true divine masculine. Yes, that is the answer to that. Let me see if there's more. My hair looks nutso today. Is there more that she needs to know? What does Roxy need to know about? I'm feeling in about 3 years is when it will happen. So just because you've raised your vibration enough for it to happen doesn't mean that snap, now it's going to happen. But yeah, your vibration is where it needs to be. There's nothing wrong with your vibration that is blocking this. I think it's really just a matter of divine timing. The circumstances just haven't come together yet. But I feel like this guy, I'm picking up on this guy, Roxy. I feel that he will be a bit taller than you, like maybe 4 or 5. Yeah, like maybe 4 or 5 inches taller than you. My hair is really nuts right now. I feel like he has, like he's sort of fuller in his build, like stocky, not like heavy or overweight, but he is he has substance. You know, like his physical presence has sort of like substance. We were talking about Taurus energy earlier, and there's a sort of Taurus physicality, the way that Taurus is described in their physical features, which isn't always accurate, actually. But in that description, that's what it's kind of reminding me of. I also feel like kind of like a tan. He has pretty tan skin. And I think like a soft heart, a very soft-hearted guy is who I feel for you, Roxy. Thank you, Crystal, for letting me know that it makes sense. So was that about, were you the person who was asking about a job thing? That's what I really want to know. Let me scroll down here. Do. Oh, thank you, C. Okay, she says, wow, thank you. Looking forward to the positive outcome. And you're right, I work with data. Yay! So that's a good confirmation that I was able to pick up on that, because you know that to be true. And the other question was about when you'll get a job. So that helps you to confirm that I was probably on point with that as well, because I was picking up on things accurately, because you do work with data. Awesome. Thank you. Hello, Taylor. You're welcome. Anj is saying, hello, which of the 3 universities be best for me? C, T, or N? Which would lead to my happiness? Okay, this is good. And thank you, by the way, for giving an initial for each one, because that does give me something that I can focus on and to clearly distinguish them so that I don't get them confused. Wow, thank you for the 70. I don't know if that's $70 or 70 some other kind. That's not US dollars. I'm not sure. But either way, thank you so much. That was very kind. All right. Okay, Anj, let me focus here. Where is her happiness? Is it with C, T, or N universities? I feel like N. I feel like N is where I really feel, for one thing, I see you making a lot of friends there. And of course, it isn't just about friendship, because these are healthy friendships. You know, sometimes people go off to university and they focus too much on their social life in a way that detracts from their academics. But what I see for you at N is you find people who are good influences on you, and like a good emotional, like a friendship support network, like a group of friends. I feel like you having a really good group of friends. I'm sorry to burp. Excuse me. A really good group of friends at N. And these are people who are also like academically minded, you know, people who are stable, more or less. I mean, we all go through our stuff, but like you know, people who have a good head on their shoulders and also wanting to, you know, advance themselves in life through going to university. So like a good, really good core group of friends. Let me see what else. I also feel like you'll have good relationships with your professors there. Like your professors at N would really appreciate you and encourage you. They're going to see your potential and really help you to meet your potential. I feel a lot of happiness for you around N. So that's what I'm seeing, Anj. Okay, Desh Art is asking, what does this man think about me now? Thank you, Crystal. All right, let me focus on Desh Art right now, because I'm not getting any strong energy about this. Desh Art, if you're listening, try to focus on the person that you're asking about so that your energy is connected. I apologize for my hair. It just looks wackadoodle-doo. All right. So what does this man think about me now? Deschart wants to know, what is this man thinking? I mean, either he's not really thinking a whole lot about you at this particular moment, or I'm just not picking up on it. So try to like focus your energy more on him. I'm not getting as strong. It's very neutral or kind of like non-existent. I'm not saying that he never thinks about you or anything, but like I just don't feel a lot going on right now in his head about you, Deschart. The Healing Harbor is asking, what's next for me? Okay, so this is an open-ended question. Let me try to... All right, so for the Healing Harbor, what's coming next? Okay, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is an eye exam, the healing harbor. So I don't know if that's literal or if it's some sort of metaphor. Let me try to feel more into it. So the healing harbor, what's next for the healing harbor? I feel like this is maybe symbolic. I'm seeing an eye exam. You know how it feels a little bit uncomfortable when you're getting an eye exam? But ultimately it still benefits you because you need to make sure that your eyes are healthy, and obviously if you need corrective vision, you need to know what your diagnosis or whatever is. But I think it's a sort of metaphor about, there's a little bit of uncomfortableness that about other people being able to see what you really think. Like, there's something that maybe you haven't vocalized, and yet other people are able to pick up that you have these thoughts, and it's a sort of uncomfortable awareness of, oh, they know what I think about this situation or something, and it almost feels invasive or something. Like you don't want people to know what you think about a particular situation. You don't necessarily want people to know how you see a particular situation, and yet there's an awareness of, oh, okay, they've become aware of it. Someone has, I feel like it might be multiple people, they've become aware of how I view a certain topic or something, and it feels uncomfortable. But I'm also getting the healing harbor, like also a visual of a beautiful field of flowers. So I think that the guidance for you is that you don't need to be concerned about this, because I don't think that, there's nothing wrong with whatever your perspective is. Maybe you have your reasons for not voicing it out loud, but you are one of many beautiful flowers in a field. So whatever your particular view is, that other people are becoming aware of, and it might be making you uncomfortable. You're a unique person, and you're going to see things in a unique way, and that's actually very positive. So that's kind of what I'm getting for you, the healing harbor. You're welcome, Roxy. Thank you, Anj. Okay, Nexus is asking, will I meet my soulmate soon? Well, Nexus, I feel that you've already met a few different soulmates. We can have many soulmates. A soulmate is someone who generally our souls are friends. We're friends with these people at a soul level, and it doesn't just have to be romantic. This is just how I define and understand soulmates, right? Our family can be soulmates. Our pets can be our soulmates. And it's just like, wow, our souls really care about each other, and our souls have the capacity to help each other through this thing called life. So you've already met multiple soulmates. Now, if what you meant when you asked that, Nexus, was, am I going to meet someone who I'm going to be in a significant relationship with, then let me know, and I can look at that question, because that might be what you mean. But you've already met soulmates. You have soulmates in your life. I do feel at least one prominent soulmate who you have had, mutual romantic feelings for each other, and this was a soulmate for sure. I think it was someone, you've gone out of each other's lives at this point. Your lives took different turns in life, and that's okay, because that's what was meant to happen. But you met each other for a reason. All right, so Nexus is saying, yes, please. So is there a relationship, a soulmate relationship soon? All right, let me try to tune in. I feel something happening in about 2 years from now. Sorry about the background noise. I feel like in about 2 years from now, Nexus, I feel a soulmate relationship forming, like a romantic relationship with someone who is a soulmate. And I do feel like the two of you will really grow together. So that's a beautiful thing about any type of soulmate, whether it's romantic or not. It's like you help each other to grow and reach your potential, you know, to be the best that you can be. I think that you and this person who I see you coming together with in about 2 years in this relationship, you both have, it's like you strengthen each other, and there's this mutual desire to help each other improve and really want the best for each other. I see you living with this person specifically. Like, and I think that also happens in about 2 years. Like, it's a living together type situation, Nexus. You know, just doing like normal things together, like that people do when they're in a relationship and they're living together, like cooking and cleaning together. I feel lots of like conversations, but these aren't like heated, passionate conversations. It's like very quiet. It's a very quiet, flowing energy between you and this person. You feel very familiar to each other. You feel very comfortable to each other. But at the same time, there's this mutual desire to really understand each other like deeper and deeper. I feel like it is a bond. The two, you and this person have a bond, but there's such a strong desire for that bond to become stronger and stronger. And it does so very slowly over time. It's like, I'm being reminded of the Fiona Apple lyric, slow like honey and heavy with mood. Slow like honey, I think is the name of that song. Slow like honey and heavy with mood. Like, the two of you have, the guy that I'm seeing you with, Nexus, like, you have, you inspire a lot of feelings and emotions in each other, but it's like a calm, placid lake, you know, slow like honey, but heavy with mood. You really feel so many deep emotions, but they're not like intense emotions, if that makes sense. It's just like a deep sort of stillness of emotion. I don't know how else to describe it because I speak in metaphors a lot. All right, I don't see any other questions, Deschart, so I'll go ahead and answer one from you. But after this, again, like subsequent readings, you're welcome, Nexus. All right, if I could ask a new question, please. Can you pick up anything about my previous neighborhood that I need to heal from? Now, that sounds like a trick question, but we are testing my psychic abilities, so we'll see. Anything from your previous neighborhood that I need to heal from? So I'm picking up something, Deschart, about there were certain areas of the neighborhood where you felt that you didn't feel comfortable going. And it wasn't because there was a strict rule or anything that you couldn't be there. It was just, well, I feel like there's a boundary there, or I feel like I'm not welcome in that part of the neighborhood, or I feel like I don't want to go there. Something about that. Because I'm seeing like a big red X over certain parts of the neighborhood. Yes, donations are still open. So Deschart, let me try to understand more about this. So there were parts of the neighborhood that it felt like you weren't allowed to go into. I'm trying to understand why this needs to be healed. At this angle, you can't see how crazy my hair is. And then I do this, and it's like, it's because the wind keeps blowing my hair. Anyway. Okay, what's going on with Deschart's neighborhood? Let me try to understand. Well, for one thing, there was never any part of the neighborhood that was really blocked off from you in that way. I mean, obviously you can't just go into anybody's house that you want, but like there was never any wall or barrier there. There was something internal within you that felt that you were not welcome or that you didn't belong. And I think that's what needs to be healed, because it wasn't the neighborhood itself. It was this maybe pervasive difficulty of feeling like, well, I just don't belong here, wherever here might be. Probably a lot of different situations. I feel that I don't belong. So yeah, that sense of I don't belong is something that I think that you are in the process of healing already, Deschart. And what I think that you're beginning to recognize and put into practice in your own life is that when there is a supposed wall, I'm seeing it now as a wall that's built out of empty cardboard boxes. It's like, well, if I wanted to move that wall and create a sense of belonging for myself anywhere, I could do that. It has to come from within me, of being able to have the capacity of belonging, because there's no actual restriction there that isn't something that I can manage. You know, even if there is a restriction regarding belonging, you can effectively remove those restrictions simply through your actions of asserting that you belong. And asserting, again, doesn't mean like being aggressive or assertive, because we're talking about just moving. Again, this is a metaphor, so bear with me. I speak in metaphors a lot. Moving a wall that's been created by a bunch of cardboard boxes stacked on top of each other, well, that doesn't take that much effort. You don't have to punch them, right? You just quietly go up and you move the boxes, and then that wall isn't there. And whatever you felt that you couldn't belong in, or among whom you felt you couldn't belong, you do, because you have brought down the wall through your actions. And I think those actions are simply like engaging in friendliness, engaging in like mutual understanding. Mutual understanding meaning that you're taking action to understand other people. You're being respectful of boundaries, and you are, asking other people to respect your boundaries, but you're doing so in a polite manner that, again, isn't coming across as aggressive or inspiring any need for anyone to put up a stronger wall, right? So I hope that what I said there makes sense. Yes, thank you so much for the donation, Anj. And Crystal, go ahead with your questions. You're welcome. I hope that it helped. I don't know if it's just being slow, but oh, okay, here. All right, Crystal, I just want to know what month will me and Jay reconnect. His sister, who he lives with, doesn't want us to get back together. She was part of the breakup. Will he listen to her or his mom or anyone concerning his approach towards me and reconnecting? All right. What month will... I mean, to be honest, I feel like it's this month. I feel like it's the month of May, Crystal, which I know we're winding down. I think today is the 22nd. So clearly we're getting to the end of May. I feel like there will be some sort of reconnection in May. Now, whether it is getting back together in a relationship, like I said before, I don't really necessarily see the two of you getting back into an actual relationship. I did say that before. I don't know if you remember or heard me say it, because it sounds like you didn't want that to be the answer, but I don't think you're going to get back into a relationship. Now, that said, don't let tarot be a self-fulfilling prophecy. But I feel like there will be a reconnection. Like, I think you'll be speaking to each other again before this very month of May is over. Okay, we haven't talked in 2 years. Well, I think that you'll talk again soon, by the end of this month. In terms of his mom and his sister, I think his sister still has a fairly strong, she's kind of still vocal about her thoughts and feelings about you. I think his mom really isn't, it's not even something she thinks about, maybe because it's just not right in front of her, but the sister still talks to him sometimes about you, and she does still have strong opinions. I think that it does still influence him to a certain extent, Crystal. Okay. You used to be good friends. Maybe that's why she has such strong opinions, because she had a personal attachment to you herself. But yeah. It is interesting, because I think she is negative about you, but at the same time, she's negative about you because she's invested in you as a person. You know what I mean? Like, the mom is not as invested, at least at this point. Let me try to understand the situation. Is there anything more that Crystal needs to know about this with the sister? You may not feel the same way, but I feel like you still have the ability to be friends again with the sister. And I know I talked to you before about, even with Jay, it feels like there's friendship potential there. Like, I think you could all be friends with each other again. That takes you being open to it, of course. But even though she's negative about you, it's like, sometimes we have negativity towards our friends because we care so much. It's like we hurt the ones we love the most. But I think that you all have the capacity to talk it out. That's what it feels like to me. Like, you and the sister can talk it out. She was very jealous of your relationship. His sister, and they all knew I was the best person for Jay, and he was trying to have something in life. Yeah. I don't think it was just that she was jealous of your relationship with him. She felt like she was losing her friendship with you because of your relationship with him. And also she felt like it impacted her relationship with him as well. So she felt like she was kind of losing both of you. And I'm not saying that justifies her behavior, but sometimes when we want to make peace with people, it's helpful to be able to at least kind of see where they're coming from. Crystal's saying, all I want is for us to have a conversation. I think that that's going to happen. I think that there will be opportunities for it. But, this is a group friendship, effectively. You're in a group friendship with Jay and his sister, and this is a strong group friendship. I'm just saying, but I feel like the obstacles can be overcome. I think it still ultimately depends on your own free will and how you choose to approach it. See, they hurt me because he took me to court on account of listening to her and her friend. Yeah. Sorry, I had to burp again. Because I'm drinking this Diet Dr. Pepper. I know I was talking about treating my vessel well, but You know, it's progress, not perfection, right? Um, oh, I was hurt because I lost my baby by him and all, and nobody never took me to court, and it could have jeopardized my job. Wow, that is a lot. That is a lot. I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I do feel like healing is possible here. So I keep taking him back for 5 years, and it was love, but I'm still hurt that he did that. Yeah, of course you would be hurt. Um, wow. Well, let me know if the two of you do get the chance to speak before the end of May. Um, and the sister got locked up for 5 hours because she couldn't be quiet in court. Yeah, well, it sounds like overall a very dramatic situation. You know, so again, like going back to your own free will, do you really want to be involved in these people's lives anymore? And if so, why? You know, why? What do you think it's going to benefit you to do that? You know, sometimes being a friend is not giving up on someone, but at the same time, you have to do that wisely and with very strong boundaries, especially in a situation like this. Like, what does it mean not to give up on a friendship when so much difficulty has happened? It's probably good that you've had a year of not speaking to each other. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what else to say, Crystal. I feel like at this point pulling out my tarot cards because I'm not like, I know I wasn't going to do that, but let me pull one card for you. We get the Wheel of Fortune card. And I feel like that's appropriate because this is a situation where there's a lot going on here. There is a lot that's good just on the Wheel of Fortune. Most of the time, like on the game show Wheel of Fortune, most spins are something that's basically positive. And then occasionally you might spin, lose a turn, or bankrupt. So it feels like in this friendship with Jay and his sister, you've spun a couple of bad spins with them. But there's still a lot of good potential despite that. So I was, you know, the tarot is confirming to me that I was right. But so how in the world can she manage this considering all of what's happened? We have the Knight of Swords. So I definitely feel like, you know, you have to have strong boundaries in terms of not letting yourself be a doormat. That is for sure. I care for Jay and the love was there. He's so heavy on my mind at times that I cry. We both know certain things. You're right, we bond, we knew each other. I think that this is a situation where you have to express tough love. If you're going to be involved in their lives again, you know, the thing is, like, his sister is still his sister. So even if you start to talk to him again, his sister is still very involved in his life. So you have to understand the reality of the situation. You may not want this to be the reality, and yet it is the reality. And I think in a lot of ways, even though you may not want to recognize this as well, the sister is part of the glue here, actually. Because this is not just a two-way street here. This is a three-way, I don't know, cul-de-sac. This is a three-way cul-de-sac. You know, this, you have to take every part of the situation together because none of it can be separated out. The sister is part of the glue, even though it doesn't seem like that because she's behaving so erratically and she's been so negative. If it weren't for the sister, I don't even know if you and Jay would have become so close. So, I don't know. I just get, like, the advice to you, Crystal, is to kind of hold your own boundaries and don't be a doormat. When and if you do speak to these people again, that's just the advice that I'm getting. Right. So Crystal's saying every time we got back together, she did put us together, or at least we talked all the time she was involved. Yeah. So she is like, she's sort of a glue. So anyway, it is what it is. I think I'm gonna let it go there. I don't think I've had any other new questions. If I did, I didn't see them. But I appreciate everyone for letting me flex my psychic muscles. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye.